publish. And one and a one and a one and one and one and one and a one and one and one and one and one and one and a one.
We're going in. We're going in. We're going into the pocket dimension.
Help!
I'm so scared.
We're gonna have to do this every time.
We have each other. It's fine.
New time. New time. New day. Who dis? Everybody.
Let's go.
Let's go. So welcome to the Pocket Dimension, our newly named show where we kind of focus on things in a tabletop role-playing game mind. But of course, we'll dip into other Pocket Dimensions too. We don't want to be exclusive because we're all about inclusivity, right?
We are.
And to kind of mark this new channel and so on and so forth, the lovely team here has put together an intro video that I would love to play for everyone right now.
Through hidden hollows, where the boundaries between reality and fantasy shift, a portal is opening. Enter the Pocket Dimension. Here we explore neurodivergence.
Welcome to ADHD 20, where we find the intersection between ADHD and TTRPG.
Create mysteries and adventures.
The sleepy, idyllic town of Mistress Glen is home to a predator.
A beast that walks the outskirts, silent but deadly.
Express fiery opinions and uninhibited joy.
Welcome to the Pocket Dimension Live, a show by nerds, for nerds.
Follow along to experience all of these liminal spaces and those yet to come.
Wow.
Quest time.
Very nice, side questers. Very nice.
Lemony
Evan
I'm
also-
very good at side quests.
So many spaces. Evan also did a very cool new intro that I haven't had time to put together, so I apologize for that. But that kind of explains what we're about to do. You know what we want to do. It's just a refocusing, y'all. Everybody needs to do some cleanup. How's everybody?
Pretty good. How are you? I got my dice earring on. I'm ready to roll, quite literally.
Can you?
Should we? I know, right? Just whip them. I could hurt myself. If you're here, drop a note in chat. We want to know. We see our friend Amy Cox has arrived.
Hello, Amy
Maybe
Cox.
we should I don't know, introduce ourselves since this is the first official The Pocket Dimension Live.
That's fun.
Who are y'all? How'd you get here?
Go, Allison.
Oh, I have to go first? Oh,
Yeah, you're
okay.
going first now. Yeah.
Great. I thought it could be one of y'all. My name is Allison. I'm the newest to TTRPGs of this Fab Foursome. I started playing in 2020. And my favorite class to play, I'm just making things up now. We didn't talk about any of this. I really like playing sorcerers, the end. All right, somebody else go. I'm tired of being on the screen.
Who wants to go next? All right. Cool, I'll go next. Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm the one who's pressing all the buttons for this live stream, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. But my brother Evan and I started playing Dungeons & Dragons when we were 10, and we took a good long break, but we came back in the pandemic like so many people did, and it has become this thing that means so much to us therapeutically and creatively and socially and so on and so forth. And so that's why we're kind of rebranding this channel a little bit to talk about this thing that we love so much. And next.
You get to choose.
Yeah, you're in charge.
Fitz!
Oh my goodness. Hi, I'm Fitz. I started playing RPGs with the Star Wars Force and Destiny game with my family, and then we came to the dark side of D&D 5e a few years before COVID, but things didn't get for real until these chucklefucks came around. I should have asked if cursing. Are we cursing on this show?
I guess we are.
I've made that executive decision.
Go for it. I
love it. I fucking love it, Fitz.
Yeah, it's your show, Fitz. It's your show. Yes. Yes. Do you have more? That's it. Do you need more?
That's it. I got a fan art today, and I literally cried.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. We got actual fan art by one of our colleagues, and man, it is. I did not expect that. That was really fun. Brother.
If you can throw it up.
I'll work on that while you introduce yourself. How about that? Ding.
That sounds great. Hi, my name is Evan. Of course, as soon as I have to speak, I have to clear my throat. Apologies. I am Matthew's brother, his younger brother, and like you said, we've been playing D&D since we were little guys who barely knew how to read, let alone read a monster manual, which I certainly didn't do back then and still haven't. I like to play D&D. And I like to play D&D with these people. We like to talk about D&D and other stuff, and that's why we are here, focusing in on this thing that has just made our lives so much better. And that's me. What else? I like corn dogs. We're just talking about long walks on the beach. I mean, I didn't know how deep to go.
Yeah. Our friend Sarah says Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets. Yeah, which did wind up on the whoa, that was a beautiful sync. That did wind up on the cutting room floor of names for this. I wanted it to be the Hot Pocket dimension. Vetoed. I don't get it.
We tried to fit Hot Pocket into the copy of so many things, and it just unfortunately didn't quite make it out of the microwave and onto the screen.
But there's time, like we're gonna try new things.
You know what?
Yeah, what?
It'll be Does It Pocket? We're gonna do a segment.
Yes.
Does It Pocket?
Does It Hot Pocket?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. That'll be the Herb cooking show for Patreon subscribers. Does It Pocket?
Yeah. Yes. Now, AK and Fitz, when you guys were younger, I don't know if they still make this or not, or if they made it when you were kids, but when Matt and I were kids, there used to be a sandwich making press, sort of like a panini machine, but not as fancy. And you'd put a sandwich into it, and it would turn it into little hot triangles. So kind of like a homemade Hot Pocket, except not as tasty or good. You guys had those as kids?
I didn't personally, but I was jealous of those who did. I know exactly. I can taste and feel the texture of that, the bread and the triangle with the lines. Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is how we're going to do the Hot Pocket dimension. Does It Pocket?
I'll get on eBay and see if I can hunt one of these things down.
Yeah, preferably one from 1993.
Yes. Probably
an older model
at this point. Yeah,
for sure.
If it doesn't shock me when I plug it in, I don't want it.
I want nothing to do with it.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked.
Well, how did we come up with the name, the Pocket Dimension?
That's good.
Why don't we describe that, just so people are on the same page? I don't remember. How did we? Matt, was it your idea?
I
think it was Matt. I feel like it was.
Actually, it was me.
I think so.
Yeah. It was Evan.
I think it was
great.
Evan.
Yes. Okay. Matt and I get confused all the time. Not so much anymore, but we're used to it.
You're the same person to me. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But Matt is so much nicer.
Oh,
that's not true.
Matt said that's true. It is true. It is true. But that just means that I'm sassier, and sometimes
he's sassier and gets more done.
Sometimes that's
a lot
good.
more done.
Okay, so public apology. It was Evan's idea, not Matt's. I'm really sorry, Evan. Please take it away. I'm so sorry.
I don't need credit here. I'm not jockeying for credit. I just remember thinking about when we wanted to move away from the Biv Bro show in terms of, well, let me back up. We wanted to create a new show where we really focused only on TTRPG stuff. Matt and I didn't want to do it just him and me. We wanted to bring in Fitz and AK and have it be the full family doing it all the time. So that was where we started. And then it was like, well, oh gosh, what are we going to call it? And I remember being inspired by names there's a company called Demiplane. If anyone out there is familiar with them, they make cool technology. If you're using D&D Beyond, the people who make all the fine products at Demiplane built that for you. But the idea of Demiplane and what it is, if you go and look at what it is, part of what it is a place to find games to be in. And so the name of it kind of speaks to also what it is. I just thought, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then it kind of hit me while we were at Gen Con. And I don't know what it was specifically, but thinking about the different things that we do, ADHD 20, talking about TTRPGs. Fitz and I have a show that we're working on that's more of a narrative-based podcast. And of all these different things, something just popped into my mind of like, what if this was a family, a series of their own dimensions, these little pocket dimensions where we are doing creative things. And I think we were just driving to the con, and we looked up Pocket Dimension to see if anyone had it, and it didn't seem like it was somewhat available. And everybody, I don't know, you guys tell me. Everyone was like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool," and
that'll do.
And then it landed somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that a accurate retelling?
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it immediately made the short list, and we were like, "Well, we'll keep seeing if anything else pops up," but we just couldn't. We were obsessed with it immediately and just couldn't let it go. So that's how it ended up as being the one.
Yeah, there's something like in that Demiplane Pocket Dimension, that the dimensional quality that just feels like, as a concept, you have a space that's all your own, and I think we just liked that. So, I don't know if that's as cool of a retelling of a naming thing as like the Grateful Dead's much cooler name story than this, but. That's what.
But it's also not the worst name-telling story.
Yeah.
So we suck less. We're doing great. High bar here.
Great.
High bars.
I do like Will's comment. It's better than the portable hole dimension. Yeah, a little bit.
It is.
I love a good portable hold.
Love a good portable hole.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yes, but yeah, we love games, but we do want to reiterate, of course, that we just wanted to refine what we talk about. We just ended up that we just kept talking about over and over and over, and these things, and how the four of us came together, right, as friends and as co-workers and so on and so forth, has so much to do with playing games, and so it's just easier for us to kind of come up with stuff. But for those of you listening that are not into tabletop role-playing games,
okay,
a Pocket Dimension.
Get out.
No, Evan.
The say
First, for those of you who don't play games, which no shade. We also, the Pocket Dimension also includes all the sci-fi, all the books, all the food, right? Hot Pocket Dimension, and that's what it should have been. Why didn't we do that? Anyway, Hot Pocket Dimension, right? So it's like all of those things together. We'll have something for you to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, particularly on our Discord, which now, if we don't change the food channel to the Hot Pocket Dimension, I will be very sad.
I mean, I'll go do it right now in real time.
Go do it right.
If y'all want me to, I will do it. I will do it right now. Great. All right. So Eat It is being officially changed to the Hot Pocket Dimension.
Wow, it's that easy. It's that
easy.
But we really, I just wrote this and put this in our Discord, which this is not the right address now, but I wonder if it'll still work. So it's not.
It'll still work. It'll still work.
So here's an address that you can go. This will still work apparently, but it's changed the name slightly. This is, I just kind of, I just at one point I was in a rock band and we were a part of a community that just made my soul sing all the freaking time, right? And it's how I met these two other peoples, AK and Fitz, and I was missing that so hard in my life, and so we made this nerd call at the beginning of the year and said, "Hey, we don't know if this is gonna work." And
There it is.
we did. That's what it sounds like. And we didn't know whether it was gonna work at all, but fuck it, right? Like, and it did work. It did work,
Wow.
and y'all came, and it's just been one of the coolest things that I have experienced in a long, long time, and inspiring beyond belief. Like, we have just upped our game, literally and figuratively, right? We've included our Discord to playing with us. We have gone to 2 gaming conventions in this year. I'm going to a 3rd. Some of us are going to other kinds of things to figure out how to make this a bigger part of our lives. And it's really, it truly is inspired by y'all, because we could have started this thing, no one was there, no one cared. That's fine, but it worked. So thank you.
Can I tell y'all the kindest compliment that I got today when showing some of my friends the Pocket Dimension?
Yes.
Our good pal Jeff Molando, who is responsible for me playing Dungeons and Dragons and our first campaign together in 2020, said, "I like this so much better than you being obsessed with musical theater." So there you have it.
Oh my gosh. Of course, any compliment he gives always has to come with some sort of little, yeah, just a twist.
Just a twist.
Yeah. Brother, I'd like to and your sentiment of just the quality of folks in this Discord and how cool it is. I mean, so many amazing people doing amazing things, and so happy. My only regret, the only thing I don't like about this is that I wish I had more time to just hang and chat with people more often. Sometimes I look at my screens over here and I see Discord and Slack and Microsoft Teams, and there's something happening in them at all times, and it's a wee bit overwhelming. But when I do get in there, and if you're atting at me in Discord, you'll most likely see me lurking in the Marvelous thread. That's probably where I spend most of my time. So feel free to shout at me and say, "Hey," in any of these channels. But I wish I don't know about you guys. I wish I just had more time.
Yeah. Well, that is a big part of this, right? That we came together. We're like-minded people. This foursome feels like a band to me, and we enjoy each other's company. We work well together, and I think that another part of this, it doesn't have to happen. You don't have to turn every hobby or thing that you love into something bigger than that. And obviously, at the conventions this year, we've learned that gaming in particular is something that can appeal on every level of human being, to just pure fun for the weekends to people creating worlds, right? It's like the breadth of it is enormous, but we would love very much if you're not a part of it to help us have more time to spend on this. Here's a second link. This one is absolutely correct, though.
Good job.
We do have a Patreon, and I think it's worth it. At first, we were like a little embarrassed about it because there was really nothing, but I think more and more it's getting to be something a really fun way to spend your time. And all that does, it's very cheap compared to most Patreon, subscriptions. But I think one thing that it does for us immediately is I would put this live stream together for fun. I don't need to get paid for it. I don't need to edit videos. I don't need to edit podcasts. I don't need to record these things. I don't need to, but it does give us time to take off of, our day jobs, which still exist, and spend more time in the Discord. So thank you, anybody. Our friend Nathan has. It's like this is suddenly turned
Nate
into a
has entered
pledge
the
drive.
chat.
I'm sorry, but our friend Nate, if he sells anything at show tonight, I will join your Patreon. We do have a channel also in the Discord that has nothing to do with what the four of us do, but that everybody else does. It's the Promote It channel. Nate, if you would please give us directions to your show tonight for those of you in the North Carolina area. You guys.
Drop pics of your
damn it.
beautiful
Also,
art in there.
look,
PS.
About to say,
Check-
also,
check
yeah,
there.
your
There it
social
is.
links, Nate. Yep.
So I don't.
Nate's been-
sorry, I don't have a zoom. I don't have a focus, but it's not always blurry. It's gorgeous, and this is just an example of one of the things that Nate does in his beautiful art. Talking about like people like us that have kind of drawn on things that inspired them when they were little, and it coming back in their age. You know, this is like the best times of our lives, right? Like this is the time where we get to be choosy about the people that we work with and the things that we work on. And so, hold on.
Go follow Nate. Drop your social links as well. He has been blowing up Facebook and Instagram lately with a lot of this gorgeousness, and I just
Look at this.
marvel every
Look
time.
at this.
It's so
shit.
beautiful.
I mean,
Come on,
can't
man.
can't even put the whole thing in. So this is Nathan's work. It is even more beautiful in person, but it is like it's a combination of his original designs, his computer skills that he's always had, his laser cut, but it's more than that, layering and painting, and there's math involved. Anyway, so please go support each other as much. Go see Nate.
Yeah, go spend your money on that.
Yes.
Speaking of, can I yes and your Patreon, brother, and just say if anyone out there is not already a Patreon member and you want to strong arm your friends and family into becoming Patreon members, and you want to tell them why they should, or you're wondering why you should, I will put forward that even if the only content that we were putting out right now was ADHD 20, it would be so worth it. Not still, it would be so worth it if that was all that we did. But it's not. It's the thing that you can go out and get right now, and of course we'll be here every week doing this, and we'll be talking about more stuff than just ourselves, which we're doing today.
Yes, we promise.
And we've got lots of cool ideas about things that we want to try on this show that's more than just us talking heads talking about, we'll see where this, this is our kind of open format thing to do all kinds of insanity. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we also have some exciting things that we've hinted at in our little promo video. Fitz, I don't know if you are ready to talk about this. We've been very secretive about something we've been working on for a while now, but I guess the cat is officially out of the bag. We've been working on a narrative podcast based on two of our D&D characters, Herb, who is a tortoise folk, a tortuga. What are they? What's
I think we've decided tortoise folk, because
Tortoise
we don't
folk.
want to steal non-SRD material. But yes, just
Sure,
giant
sure.
turtle.
Yeah, and a giant turtle, a chef, and her good friend Bud, who is a deep gnome, and they, I don't want to give away too much. You'll see, but they're just a couple of dummies who get into all sorts of hijinks, and it's gonna be. We think it's gonna be really, really fun podcast.
Well,
this will be a
and-
listening experience.
You can get to know Bud and Herb already in a recent episode of ADHD 20 that's now out. So it
That's
all
There you
true.
go. Backdoor.
ties
It's a backdoor
together.
spinoff. Yes, we're spinning off of ADHD 20.
Oh, there
Yay,
she is.
there's
There it is. Yeah, sorry.
There's
It took me a
her.
long time. Let's see, back to live mode. There we go. So yeah, this is Herb, and this is by our friend Seth McKay, right?
Seth McKay.
Yep. Seth
Yeah.
McKay.
Seth MacKay, who is, again, this kind of thing is like amazing to me because through the Discord we met Seth. He has now been a part of ADHD 20, the last episode that we released, where he took us through an actual game. For anybody who doesn't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, you can just listen to that and watch that episode of the podcast and learn and see how fucking fun it is. See how fun it is and how much fun we're having. And it also introduces you to Bud and Herb. And yes, like the hummus shell. Just so people like Seth, people like Nate that we work with, people like our friend Colby, and we're just beginning. Like our friend Will Foy is in the house, and there's no way that we're going to not come up with some kind of hijinks with our good old pal Will Foy, who we've known since we were little. Yes, Allison?
Well, and one of the other things that we've gotten to do that's been so much fun is just play games with our patrons. We have gotten to introduce people that have never played a session of Dungeons and Dragons before. Some are now, their words not mine, obsessed and sign up every month. And all we want to do is run more and more of these games, which, speaking of, may I do a little drawing now? Because next month we have our first guest star game master, the one and only Alejandro Tay, our good friend of all of these things, the Pocket Dimension, the Adventures of Bud and Herb, ADHD 20, the Bib Bros Show. Y'all know that we're a huge fan of Tay. Tay talked us into doing a non-D&D role-playing game called Masks a couple of months ago, and we've continued to play it because we all love it so much. Yes. So Tay's going to run this game for 4 lucky patrons next month. And so I had everybody put their names in, and now I'm going to draw from my dice bag that Fitz actually had made for me. See, I got them in there.
Oh my God. Wow.
Smoosh.
Why am I like this? I don't know. So let us draw the first. Speaking of one Mr. Will Foy, Will, you are going to be playing. Can y'all see that?
Okay,
Will,
sorry,
you're going to be
sorry.
playing in Masks with Tay. Drawing the next one. I'm not trying to make this too long. Speaking of Seth, you're going to hear some repeat names here. Seth, can't you see my beautiful handwriting and my gorgeous cutting ship?
I do.
Player number 3 is Colby, who helped with the gorgeous Pocket Dimension promo video.
Yay!
Colby gets to play. And
is
finally,
a
player
brilliant
number 4.
writer, by the way.
Yes. I like this person's name and this person a whole lot. It is the other. I can't say the one and only, but the other Allison with 2 L's. Yay! So Colby, Seth, Will, Allison, y'all are playing in next month's Masks. A couple of y'all that did enter that I'm sorry didn't get in, stand by. If we have alternate spots, I'll let y'all know. And we'll keep running one-shots of both the D&D and whatever the hell else we feel like playing. Look at me, I just cussed too. It felt great.
And it really is. It's a magical game. It's a magical game. It's a magical person to run the game. He is literally a professional game master.
Yeah. That's a good group of people too. I can imagine
That is a really fun
day.
Yeah. I'm gonna crash this party. Like if y'all think that I'm not at least like surfing in to say hi because you're all so cool, I'm gonna.
I'm just jealous that it had to be a smaller party so that I couldn't just like use my own power to automatically join. But it's for the patrons. But I will come and I'm going to watch because Tay and Masks and that group of people, it's going to be a party.
That is
That
is alien.
Off the chain.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nate said, "Can you give us directions to get to your Discord?" I've got this link.
Still works.
It will be updated hopefully next time, but that will get you there. And it's free, by the way, free. So ding, ding, ding. We don't want, we want to hang out with you more than we want your money. And I'm not just saying that. Like it really,
It's true.
it helps us, of course, but hanging out with you is really what I want the most.
Yeah.
Hell, yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, now we've gotten all of these things kind of out of the way, y'all, is there actually any news that we need to discuss? We could go to personal news, or we can keep discussing these things. I can just start. Oh my goodness!
I'm just sitting over here making fun faces. That's my whole bit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it took you that long to notice.
I'm going to maybe not the best named, but so far possibly the best organized. It's definitely the best buy-in situation. GameholeCon. GameholeCon.com. I'm going there towards the end of October. I bought my badge and a couple of games to play and a large number of amazing tracks. And I would love to know if anybody out there is going. I know that my friends can't come this time, but I am so psyched. It feels already like it's kind of the indie version of, definitely an indie version of Gen Con, but not as old school RPG as Gary Con. If that makes sense.
A lot of
Lots of
G-cons.
So many G-cons. So many of those. But I'm really, really excited, and I'm it's only a couple of hours away in Madison, Wisconsin, which is beautiful. I'm going with my wife. She may even go to see some things with me, or she's gonna see if she can sit in on maybe one of the games that I play. See if they'll let her.
Pups.
What?
Them dogs. What was that game that you got for her?
Yeah, what
Them-
the
yeah,
heckin'
them
was it
pups.
heckin' good doggos?
Heckin' good dogs.
Yeah.
Heckin' good doggos. Yeah. Oh gosh, I didn't look that up. Thank you for reminding me. I'll see if they have a game of that. But yeah, I'm very excited to introduce her to the nerdery. It's one thing also that this group particularly wants to do is to speak to inclusiveness and accessibility of all tabletop gaming. And, it starts with Allison's and my ADHD, but I'm going to be working on for next year a track. Hopefully maybe I'll be accepted to speak at any one of these cons next year about accessibility and gaming. I'm not the only one that believes in. A lot of people are in it, but I there's a lot that I feel like I could speak to, and I think that the ability to hear, I think that it's still a closed door to people who are deaf or hard of hearing, and I want to see what we can do to change that, because I want my wife to play with us. We're getting there, but it's a tough world in a situation where people are talking all the time over top of each other, and you have to be positioned sightline, but I know that there's ways. We're gonna figure it out. So I'm super psyched about GameCon.
Well, and you already have proof of concept at least for, slightly hard of hearing with the rig that you came up with for Gen Con.
Yeah.
And Allison and I were super disappointed almost immediately that we weren't prepped to be able to plug into it, because it just worked, which was great. Yeah. But yeah, it'll be great for the time in which Lindsay can be unleashed to the public and show them her absolutely savage nature in Mouse Ritter.
Oh my god! I'm about to say we did get to play Mouse Ritter with her, so we have experienced a scooch of Lindsay in a role playing game. Yeah, savage, feral, all of these things. Great descriptors.
Her
of Lindsay.
spouse mouse died, and she was just like, "Let's go kill some cats."
Yeah, I think that's what we need to do.
That is the sad thing of having Lindsay be excluded from these games by, whatever means, is that she would be hilarious in all.
She would be
of them.
hilarious. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I think she
don't
will be
know many
hilarious. We
people
just gotta
as,
find that thing.
as quick a wit and as subversive a sense of humor as she has.
Yep.
Yeah,
But you know
I
what?
would like to experience that.
I'll yes and that though, Biv, in saying, kind of going back to something that our friend Meg said earlier. Hi, non-game player who appreciates being included. Let me include you again, Meg. Lindsay is a non-game player, not just because she's deaf, but also because she is extremely introverted. You can be very, very charming and very quick-witted and savage and still be an introvert. And so the concept of being with people and playing a kind of game like that is hard for her too. So, but I think that I'm going to find the entryway for her, both you know, for her disability and for her kind of, you know, I'm going to find the game. I believe that there is a game for everybody. There's a game that will like say, oh, I get it. I don't have to use a voice. I don't have to dance around. I don't have to roll a bunch of dice. I don't have to do a lot of math. Oh, Evan does?
I have to do a lot of math. No, but I do have an idea here.
Yes, please.
Maybe what we need to do is create a game. But one of the rules is that only one person can speak at a time. That's
out.
baked into No, Allison's out. She can't do that. So, but no, I'm serious. I was actually listening to. I was curious about learning some. I don't know why, but I did a deep, not a deep dive, a shallow dive on some improv game warm-ups. And I was thinking maybe I can convince Matt to lead us through some improv game warm-ups before a D&D game, just to like get us in the yes-anding and the active listening and the stuff. And of course, if you guys are into that, great. If you're not, also great. But one of the games that I came across was about people saying one word at a time, and then that can go to one sentence at a time, but only one person. And the point of it, I guess, is to make sure that everyone is listening really hard.
Yeah.
But what if there was a game designed for people who are hard of hearing, where you're always speaking one at a time? And could you design into it? You could also say, okay, well, it's always going to be in a certain order as well. Now, obviously, that's going to take a lot of work to figure out how to do that and to make it be fun and useful. But just saying,
I love it.
Maybe we're opening up another door here in the pocket dimension.
Well, and that's kind of what we've been doing with, like, I've had some of the newbies, we've solicited their feedback after the one-shot sessions of how could this have been easier for you to get involved? Because that's what I hear a lot. That's why a lot of people give me as a barrier to playing is, one, I don't have a group or a DM, and two, it's too involved. There's too much. I have to spend hours setting up a character sheet and trying to understand a bunch of rules. So I, much like Matt, is on this constant search to make it more inclusive. I'm on this, how can we make it appeal to people it might not otherwise. And Evan, I think you're already addressing some of those things too, with like, how can we be better, more active listeners, support each other's decisions in game, all that stuff. I'm so in.
And I will add to that I just spent the last week learning a game called Old Gods of the Appalachia, which uses a system that no one that I know has played. Maybe Will Foy has. Will, have you done anything with the Cypher system? It's the Monty Cook built system, and it is completely different from Dungeons and Dragons and Powered by the Apocalypse and Forged in the Dark. It is so different. It is it's a lot easier, and yet it's a little bit crunchier than some of those. And I think that, I mean, I kind of loved it instantly, and it's very simple for the GM. My point being, to your point, is that, you know, there is a game for everybody. We will find that game, or we will build that game.
We'll make it.
And because it's all that stuff is so unnecessary. There are plenty of games that don't even involve a GM. There are plenty of them. And it's all about telling stories. That's the whole thing. That's the therapeutic part. That's the social part. Like when you invite friends over to watch Netflix, which I'm not knocking, trust me, I love it. Like, come on, bring me Netflix. But what if you brought your friends together and just told a story that night, and then you walked away and you were like, oh my gosh, not only do I know y'all better, we've laughed, we've cried. Hopefully not, but you've laughed, you shared. I mean, you wrote something, you created, which is freaking cool.
I laughed, you cried.
I laughed, you cried.
I punched you in an
I'm already
uncomfortable
starting
place.
to think of
Doritos,
ways
yes.
that DC-20 could be twisted to make that work, of like incorporating the action point system, not just within combat, but throughout the rest of it too, of just, you know, if you want to contribute to something, you still have those action points, and maybe they mean certain things at different times or something. But yeah, not, you know, being on the back end of watching a game, you know, seeing the sausage get made for a game, it's a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell the fine folks out there
it's a
what
lot.
DC-20 is, Fitz.
Oh, so DC-20 is a game that Matt cottoned us on to back in March. The Alan from the Dungeon Coach, after the whole OGL debacle, decided to make his own system rather than making material for Dungeons and Dragons. So we got to play test back in March at GaryCon, Matt, Allison, and myself, the very, very early bits of it. And then at Gen Con, Evan joined in, and we got to do a play test there as well and sort of see how it's developed. And I've been able to get sneak peeks of the alpha and been helping review and just sort of helping on the back end, which has been wonderful. But it's, you know, I think it might be the system that helps bridge the gap for a lot of people getting into RPGs. It can be, it's certainly being made to be as crunchy or as rules light as you and your party elect for it to be, which is wonderful. It, you know, whereas right now I feel like you kind of have to choose going in, and maybe you don't necessarily know of like, unless you've tried a Powered by the Apocalypse game before, if you've tried Dungeons and Dragons or you've tried Pathfinder, you don't really know what you're getting into until you've done it. And or you've Googled, and people are obviously crazy about 5e, but like you don't know how intimidating it is to get started until you start. So I think, you know, with DC-20, I think the bar for entry is going to be lower, and I think it's going to be more variable and adjustable. So speaking to the accessibility mindset, you know, I think that there are ways that maybe some of the things that are already in place, like action point system, could be used to make it more inclusive.
It can be so visual, right? So, you know, if you are deaf or hard of hearing and you see this little track that goes 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and the cool thing about what Alan has done, Dungeon Coach has done, is that he's kind of the action point system is so prevalent throughout the entire game. He's even like branching out of combat, where the action system kind of can apply to social encounters and these other things. So if you had a running tally of who is doing something, so that a person who is deaf or hard of hearing could focus on that, and then, you know, Evan and I would just build an actual physical, and Nathan, our friend Nathan, would build a little physical device that would track them, and then we would involve Bluetooth, and it would be
Super quick shout out to Michelle, who just dropped in a chat, who found us from Dungeon Coach and played in our one shot with us this weekend. So she's one of our first, like, from the wild, not from past lives.
Is she playing a Balron in that picture?
You are playing
Michelle
a Balron.
Appears to be playing a Balron.
Oh my
that's
goodness.
Awesome.
We like them even more.
I used to
did
have
you
a
know
Balron.
that we were
I think my friend
Irish music
Justine
players?
still has it.
she does.
I love a good Balron. Or Boron, depending on which part of Ireland you might be from.
Did you know that we played
Good.
traditional Irish
Good
music?
catch. Fitz.
Yeah, good eyes.
Just caught my eye.
How did you know? Well,
Yeah.
we have
It
a
was in your
whole
picture.
other pocket dimension to take you
But-
down.
Yeah.
Fitz, you knew because you're in that community. I mean, not everyone knows what a Balron is.
That's true.
Fair.
I don't.
Fair.
Fitz is,
I mean, you
is
guys-
an amazing.
you guys play-
Highland
Tea
dancer.
merchants. Oh my gosh.
Tea merchants. Ugh. Yes,
The
I
tea
am a
merchants.
recovering competitive Highland dancer. I also, when I was in school, lived with Lexi Boatwright, who is a world champion concertina and harp player. She tried to teach me both. I was bad at both.
Wow.
There just wasn't enough brain space with the Highland
Screw
dancing
you,
and the bassoon
Lexi.
playing. You couldn't,
I couldn't
fit concertina in.
I couldn't get used to the in being a different note than the out. It just never got used to it. Anyways,
I love this. I love all these nerd friends coming to us from all corners of the internet.
I mean,
Talking to
grief. All right.
on.
So now we need to know where Michelle is so that we can start a session with her as well. That would be. See, that's what it's all about.
yeah,
I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We are too. Can you? I'm kind of speechless about it. I'm kind of speechless about the Venn diagrams.
and this is why we have our Discord with all the multitude of channels in which those Venn diagrams can explode upon each other.
Holy smoke. Austin, Texas.
Austin,
I'll come to
Texas.
Austin. I love Austin, Texas. I'll come to Austin, Texas.
You guys could be Central Time Zone pals. We usually gang up on Matt as the East Coasters. So
Tacos.
more friends, more time zones, more places. And Austin has a lot of cool things. I just won't go in the
does.
summer.
Tacos.
It's a little warm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I think we did it.
Yeah.
That's it. We ran out of stuff to talk about in episode 1.
Yeah. My brain just started to go to all of the jigs
Yep.
jig of slurs and jigs and reels that I know in my head. So I've blanked out. But that's a good way to end this, right? This first
Next on the Pocket
inaugural-
Dimension, we start a band.
We start a band.
You know,
That's our-
we started with this, and we could actually start a band.
We could.
Bass end is covered by Fitz. with
Yes.
the bassoon.
Yes.
AK, you play multiple instruments. Which
Badly, but yes. I'm really good at tambourine. I need you guys to understand how
Great.
good I am at tambourine.
and you're
okay,
singing.
Great. There's nothing like a good tambo player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do
Bring
all the
it.
tambo tricks where you like?
I'm also really good with cymbals for that same reason. Like the slides and
Okay.
stuff like that. So like I got your auxiliary percussion back here. Just throw
so
me on
you're
what
the
you
Swiss
need.
Army ghoul.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It really also works well for my ADHD. Like I don't have to focus on any one instrument for a particularly long time. I could just
Duh.
I've got a
Yeah,
hammered
let's go.
dulcimer you could use.
Yes.
let's go. Let's go.
The
Okay,
weirdest
great. And
collection of instruments ever.
gonna start
Marimba,
it.
hammered dulcimer, triangle, and cymbals and
Guitar.
tambourine. Yeah.
We're gonna start
go.
writing music for your TTRPG campaigns.
Oh my gosh. See,
I'll pick
that's
up
what we're
Steel
doing
Pan
here.
again.
That's what the Pocket Dimension is all about.
That'll be the underwater level.
I love
Oh,
this
there's
so
so
much.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
This is the best. This is the best. And this is the beginning. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for being here. It seems like, well, after one session, I'm not sure, but I think that maybe Fridays at lunchtime are going to be a little bit better for some people than Thursdays at lunchtime, which is also great. So, man, I am speechless because I just this is beyond my wildest dreams for this year, and I just wanted to keep going and going. So thank you for joining us and being a part and listening and creating with us and
We need a cool sign off. We'll
I
workshop
know.
it.
Well,
yeah, we'll
I will
workshop
say
that
as
too.
we close out, just I think we're all very very proud of ourselves, which I I try to be humble, but like we've worked really hard, and I just want to say today is very exciting. And next week when we hop on, we will actually talk meat and potatoes about RPGs, and I will use that as a selling point for everybody to get into the Discord, hop into the Pocket Dimension Live channel, and let us know some topics that you like. What kind of topics do you like?
What kind of
If
topic?
this
So that
show
we can
sucks,
chitter
it's
chat.
y'all's fault.
If what?
Just kidding. I said, if this show
Roll for
sucks, it's
initiative.
y'all's fault. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
That's not true. That's not true.
It can be my fault. It's fine. I
Never.
don't lie.
I'll take the
Forever.
blame.
Almost
Or it's
always
just
my
going to be
fault.
great. Let's just go with that. We're
Yeah,
going to have
I
fun
like
with
that.
all of our nerd
There you
friends.
go.
We're so glad you're here.
I like that.
Manifest it.
That's my fave. Yeah. So please join us. Please come. Thank you for your support. And next week we're going to have some amazing new content for you, and or about you.
And that's maybe a threat.
Why was that so funny? It's about you. So menacing.
Yes.
Sorry.
The other thing that we'll have is we'll have a cool sign off, and we'll also have a great exit video, but I didn't get it up in time, so I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
But yeah, next week. I love you guys. I love you guys, and I love
guys.
you guys.
I love you
guys.
guys, and I love you guys.
Yeah,
Use guys.
Y'all.
Use guys.
All y'all.
Oh, y'all.
next week.
You lovely
Next week.
humans.
We will enter
Is it
the body
Is it Friday?
dimension.
Is it